Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about the future of handlebars, and I'm going to talk about 3 things that I think you will be able to maybe see on the stock VAG electric bike in the future. And this is going to be completely groundbreaking technology, if I'm guessing correctly. And by the way, in case I'm not guessing correctly, then at least I will be sharing information to all the motorcycle companies on the future of bike technology, because these are, as I said, groundbreaking technologies. And how do I get these ideas about these technologies? Well, that's because I've been studying nanoscience. And for me, it's pretty easy to get ideas on how to develop new technologies and combine it with my knowledge of motocross coaching as well. Okay, so let's get started. So idea number 1 is to put sensors in the grips that can measure how hard you squeeze the grips and how hard you pull the grips, or how hard you push down on the grips. And why is that groundbreaking? Well, let me tell you. If you're a motocross coach, or if you know anything useful about riding technique, it's actually really interesting that one of the main factors that can be used to determine your skill level is how good you are at riding without over gripping too tight in the handlebars. So having this technology could actually help you improve your technique by constantly reminding you to rebalance yourself in a way on the bike so you're not pulling too hard or not gripping too tight. So there could even be like a connection from the smartphone that you have on your handlebars on your stock VAG that is connected to earphones, for example, and then it could give you like some instructions on how to improve your grip and your pulling force on the handlebars so that you ride more like a professional. And that brings me to a really important point when I mentioned the word ride more like a professional, because this technology would open up a completely new world of sharing information about riding technique among amateurs and professionals, because you could actually log the data, the handlebar data, for how Ken Roczen, for example, ride, how hard he grips on certain sections, how loose he grips most of the time, more importantly, and sometimes maybe he pulls the handlebars to get extra traction and stuff. And all this data could be logged, and then it could also be processed by AI so that you could actually get a model on your smartphone that is on your stock VAG that will have a Ken Roczen coaching system that could analyze your track and then say, oh, on this and this section, then Ken Roczen, he would probably only pull this hard or only grip this tight. And then you could actually try to mimic Ken Roczen's riding style. By the way, these technologies could also be built into the foot pegs and even the seat for gripping with the knees and stuff like that. But that's another story for another video. Let's just get all the way into it, like how important this could also be for stock future revenue stream. Just like actually Tesla, you know, they make a significant amount of revenue through their software sharing and licensing of the, for example, self-driving technology. That's at least the plan in the future, right? So imagine if there was a payment system connected to these data sharing technologies between pro riders and amateur riders. So you could buy access or a small license fee to get Ken Roczen's data into your phone about how he rides, the handlebar data and all that stuff, and foot peg data. Then Ken Roczen, he would be able to make money from a whole lot of people around the world, for example, by sharing his information, his data from pressure points on the bike, and how loose he's able to ride and stuff like that. Or Jet Lawrence, that's also one of the top riders and most famous for his good technique, right? So that was number 1. That was sensors in the grips. Okay. Now number 2 idea is actually very similar, and we'll get to number 3 very soon as well. So number 2 idea for technology of handlebars in the future is having sensors in the handlebar mounts. One thing you could measure with having the sensors in the bar mounts is also, for example, if you crash and have a really hard crash, the bar mount will be able to detect if the crash has been so hard that you should, for example, readjust your triple clamps or check your handlebars if they are bent or something like that. So it's just another small add-on. Now let's get to number 3, which is probably one of the most exciting things. And that is if there was a scanner on the handlebars that could scan the track and map out the whole track in 3D and then have exact data on every rut, every bump on the track, constantly updating. And what that data could be used for would be the most revolutionary technology ever in motocross riding speed, and that would be active suspension. Okay? And in case you don't know what active suspension is, it's basically intelligent suspension that constantly changes how it acts depending on how the track changes. So for example, if you had a really big bump, then the suspension could get really soft and just soft enough to quickly absorb that bump so it feels like nothing. And then if you overjump a jump, for example, then the suspension could quickly get so hard that you make sure that you don't bottom out and get injured when you're landing. So the suspension would constantly change depending on which obstacles you're riding on the track. And for that to work properly, you would need to have a 3D scanner on the bike. And that will probably be located on the handlebars on a high point, so it can easily get an overview of the track. That was my top 3 ideas on what future technology might look like with handlebars on motocross bikes in the future. By the way, this whole talk about handlebars started from the Gypsy Tales podcast with the CEO of Stock Future. His name is Anton. Thank you so much for making that cool podcast, Jace from Gypsy Tales. And I hope you watch this video and find it interesting. Let me know in the comments what you think about this technology. Would it be cool, or would it be too much technology to actually maybe take away the focus from the actual riding? I think it would be really cool and interesting to try, and also to compare myself with, for example, Jet Lawrence input on the handlebars. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give it a like if you like it. Make sure you subscribe for the next one. In any case, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one. To watch the full version of my advanced riding videos and support the development of this channel, click the join button below and become a member. And thereby you will get access to exclusive videos where I go through the most advanced skill levels, and also explaining things from a physics standpoint, because I have a background in science and thereby studying physics. So I'm able to explain actual riding technique and the mechanics of riding, also bike setup, in a way that you don't see on many other channels. Also, I share my own step-by-step methods on how I track my own progress and riding technique development. So if you're interested in that, consider becoming a member and clicking the join button. And if you like tropical island holidays, visit fitcamp5.com for my 2-time TripAdvisor award-winning training camp, where we train fitness and action sports together while learning to live a healthy lifestyle, and maybe most importantly, have fun at the same time. And if you're really serious about improving yourself, you should definitely check out my full online courses, where I share step-by-step programs on how I developed my own routines over the last 12 years as a CEO, working in 4 different countries, while being a successful competitive athlete with more than 20 years of experience in fitness and nutrition. Check the link in the description for that. And in any case, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, be awesome, believe in yourself, and see you on the next one.